What's up, lovers of whiskey and watchers of YouTube? I'm the Malt activist, and today we break down what is, in my opinion, the best value for money peated whiskey out there. I'm of course talking about the Port Charlotte 10 Heavily Peated. Before we begin, a very big shout out to our first time viewers. Thank you and welcome to this channel. You clicked on it, that means there's something in here that intrigued you, and if it's whiskey content that you're looking for, then this is the right channel for you. Please consider being part of the community by subscribing. It means a lot, it works for the algorithm and everything, and it'll be great. Thank you, you're gonna love it, I promise. To my returning viewers, like I always say, thank you for keeping your standards so damn low. It is highly appreciated. All right, let's get into it. So this is actually one of the few times that I've ever done like a re-review, because I reviewed the Port Charlotte 10 back in the day, a long time ago. I'll put up a thumbnail. I'll put up a thumbnail of that video now. You'll see the massive difference in the picture quality, the overall colors, and of course my big fat face that's there. I've changed quite a bit since then, I feel. But this is a re-review because, you know, we reviewed the Port Charlotte 10 Heavily Peated a while ago. Absolutely loved it. Of course, at that time, you know, didn't get that many views. Okay, whatever, it is what it is. And then I ended up picking this up while I was in the UK somewhere. And I remember thinking, oh shit, yes, of course, the Port Charlotte 10 Heavily Peated, one of my favorite whiskeys ever. Let me pick this up, and then I wanted to do like another quick review. So here we are back with the Port Charlotte 10 Heavily Peated, which, by the way, is one of my absolute favorite drams in the whole world. It is really, really cool. And again, you know, I'm a big fan of Bruichladdich. I love that distillery. I think they do some fantastic work. For those of you who don't know, Bruichladdich does three types of whiskeys. They do the Bruichladdich, which is the non-peated or unpeated expression of theirs. Then they do Port Charlotte, which is their heavily peated, and of course they do what I like to call Mr. Jim McKeevan's coup de grace, is the Octomore, which is their ultra premium, super insane, kick you in the nuts peated, like going up to ppms of like 200, 300. It's insane, maybe more, 300 something. I don't even remember. All I do remember is meeting with Mr. Jim McKeevan, and this is before they launched the Octomore, and I remember him telling me, this is many, many years ago, and I remember him telling me, we've done something that is going to blow your mind. He didn't tell me that it was the Octomore. If we had known, oh my god, we would have been super excited, and maybe that's why he didn't tell us. But yeah, and then, you know, they came out with this crazy high peated ppm. It was insane, and he made it work, serving it at cost strength. He just knew what he was doing, and that's why I have the greatest respect for Sir Jim McKeevan. And but you know what, that does not mean that I don't respect the work that Adam Hannett has done. So now Adam Hannett replaced Jim back in 2015, so he's been at the helm of Bruichladdich for about 10 years now, and I gotta tell you, man, he has been absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it, especially with the core range. I think they're doing some amazing work, and especially with this Port Charlotte 10, which to me kind of seems like his flagship, to be honest. And I absolutely adore this particular expression, and I think that's a testament to what Adam is doing, and I wish him the best of luck. For those of you who don't know, Port Charlotte is actually a throwback to the Loch-and-Dal distillery, which is located in Port Charlotte, about 2 miles from Bruichladdich. I visited the site with my friend, and it's just completely broken down. It's in shambles. The distillery doesn't exist over there, but you can see its remnants, and so it's an homage to the that distillery of old, the Loch-and-Dal distillery in Port Charlotte. And so in order to complete their sort of, you know, portfolio of expressions, they came out with the Port Charlotte, which they say it's heavily peated, but it's kind of in between Bruichladdich and Octomore, right? So like other Islay whiskies, especially Ardbeg, Kilchoman, the Port Charlotte has been peated to about 40 parts per million, okay? Just like the Ardbeg 10, which I think is maybe between 40 and 50, or like most of the Kilchomans, also very similar sort of peated levels. It's the Octomores, of course, that go way, way, way higher. So this is within its standard sort of peated range. So what do we know about this whiskey? Well, we know, number one, it is 10 years old. So thank you for making sure that there's an age statement on this. Age statements are so hard to find these days. So every time I see a good age statement, even if it's 10 years old, I appreciate the fact. It is non-chill filtered, there's no coloring added, and it is bottled at a beautiful 50% ABV, which I think is a fantastic strength for this dram. It's strong enough to pack that punch, but not crazy that it destroys your soul, if you know what I mean. So yes, I think 50% is a great ABV for this, and this has become a fan favorite. This has become a firm favorite in the core lineup at Bruichladdich, and I think they do a fantastic job of this. In terms of the maturation, we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, 65% first fill American bourbon cask, 10% second fill American bourbon cask, and then 25% French oak casks. And this is made purely from Scottish barley. They're very proud of that. So yeah, that's what makes this whiskey up. I think the recipe is the same as it was 10 years ago, or whatever it is when this was launched. I forget when this was launched, maybe a few years ago. Whatever, the recipes remain the same, 65, 10, 25, and I think it works. Though it's quite interesting that there would be like just a 10% second fill American. It's probably maybe to round off some of the harsher edges that you would get perhaps from first fill bourbons, or even the French oak. So I think that 10% kind of tempers the overall, the composition of this spirit. So, but whatever Adam's doing, he's doing a great job. I'm not a whiskey maker. I'm just another judgmental guy on YouTube spouting his stupid views. So everything I say, please take with a grain of salt, right? I am definitely not the expert here. However, what I am an expert is knowing what I like, and I like this whiskey. There you go. Check this out. Yes, like I said, non-chill filtered, no coloring added, the way whiskey is supposed to be. Excellent. Love it. This is a nose that you immediately get lost in. The second I smell it, I'm standing at the gates at Bruichladdich, just standing in front of Lockendall, sitting on that bench. There's a bench right in front of the distillery gates. Sitting on that bench and being like, oh, this is the best day ever. It's amazing what a nose can do for you and take you back to the places that you used to be at, that you loved being at. Okay, so I've made my tasting notes. Let's go on the nose. I get a waft of campfire smoke, but it's soft and it's robust. It's not aggressive. Then the maritime notes, I get a very damp coastline, sea spray, wet stones, very minerally. Then I get citrus, the barbecued lemon, grilled pineapple, some honey in there. And then finally, that really nice earthy peat, all in the back. So just a classic, well-constructed Islay nose. I wish they'd just make a cologne out of this. You know what I mean? Yep, love the nose. Let's do this. All right, chin chin. Oh, yeah. you know, more than the flavor and I love a full-bodied, velvety, oily whiskey on my palate. That's my weakness. So on the palate, I get definitely oily, full-bodied. There's a smoked malt, iodine, seaweed. Very, very classic Islay. Vanilla fudge, some almonds in there, and back to that grilled fruit, like a grilled stone fruit. There's a bit of a peppery spice that develops right at the end, and just the tiniest bit of licorice and maybe some kind of herbal tea, you know? What do I think? Ah, man, I love it. I really, really, really love it. Man. Ooh, a bit of candy at the end as well. Some confectionery sugar. Yeah, man. Like I said, very, very classic Islay nose and palate. Extremely well constructed. You know, there are some pristine casks at play when that oily mouthfeel just completely coats your palate, which I absolutely love. There's no substitute for texture, in my opinion, you know, and I think that is a testament to how well this whiskey has been made. You know, the flavors are complex. The recipe has really been thought through and well constructed. And you know, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. I don't know, and I also get some pudding. Haha. Look, man, overall very, very decent dram, and when I said probably the best value for money whiskey out there, this is around the £70 mark, which I think is a fantastic price for a 10-year-old of this quality and of this stature. And it's a definite buy, in my opinion, especially if you're a big fan of classic Islay flavors. You know, there's nothing that beats that. It's up there with the good single cask Kilchoman's and the Ardbeg 10 again. But this, if I compare it to the Ardbeg 10, and I know that's also always going to be one of the questions is, hey, how does this compare to this or that? Then the Ardbeg 10 is softer, mellower, a little sweeter. This one is a little more robust in your face. The campfire is a little more pronounced, but it's well-rounded. The grill and the char is a lot more prominent here than in the Ardbeg 10. But look, they're both excellent drinking experiences. They're both different drinking experiences. So sorry about the doggy barking. There's somebody at the door, which probably means I should be signing off now as well. But listen, man, good whiskey. Get your hands on it. The Port Charlotte Heavily Peated 10-year-old from Bruichladdich, courtesy of the very, very accomplished Mr. Adam Hannett. And yeah, another day, another whiskey reviewed, another great recommendation for you guys to go out there and get something for yourselves. All right, okay, cool, man. You know what to do. You have to like it, you have to subscribe, you have to share, you have to leave a comment, you have to do all the cool things. And hey, man, Metallica rules. All right, I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.